This is the single biggest warning I have ever issued for Bitcoin. We are on the cusp of putting in a more dramatic push to the downside. Structure is breaking, guys. We're going to take a look at the charts objectively. No bias. We're taking the charts for what it is. In today's video, I have a slight update on the macro structure, which I'm going to relay to you. What to watch out for. We're going to crank all the way down to smaller and smaller time frames. I'm going to show you the next trade opportunity in my eyes. If you want to catch a more gnarly move to the downside, it is on the chart. Also going to go over the final, really the last structure I can see with a push to the upside, although it is less likely. I'm going to show you invalidation levels and why they are invalidation levels, exactly what I am watching for on the charts. As always, this is not financial advice. Do your own research. This is for educational purposes only. In today's video, we're starting off just with the most simple chart here. And it's on the weekly time frame, guys. It really illustrates the downward velocity and the break of structure that we are experiencing here. I have these trend lines drawn. Guys, I don't trade based upon trend lines. You know this. I just look at it more of an indicator of when structure is breaking on the macro, where liquidity may be coming in at. And we have busted below this trend line right here. Sirens should be going off, ladies and gentlemen. Sirens should be going off. Does that mean we pipe straight down? No. Probably, mess around in here a little bit. But, looking for downwards momentum to come sooner rather than later. Now, one thing that does concern me here, this is on the weekly time frame. If I go to like the daily, the 12-hour, obviously the 6-hour, the 4-hour, the lower I go, RSI momentum, we are pretty cooked to the downside here. Is it time for a retrace? It could be. But the way I'm looking at it, as these structures break and where liquidity is in fact coming in, there's a whole lot more to the downside here that we can go take, as well as to the upside. I'm not going to sit here and say, let me switch time frames for you. I'm not going to sit here and say that everything's to the downside, because there's liquidity to the upside as well, ladies and gentlemen. But the way the structure has been laid out, I needed this to hold. And just from a market making perspective, guys, we're pushing out of this entire zone here. We have manipulated enough, and we are just pushing out of this zone. If they were going to come back into this range, it would have been done by now. I think it's time to push into deeper territories, and then we can range. And put in a different structure. Maybe give you this corrective move like so, back up to 100K, mess around here. All right, so let's go down to smaller time frames. This is my macro structure. This chart is for free. I have plenty of live charts for free over in Discord. Make sure you join up. Pinned in the first comment down below is the link. Also, join or follow me on X, guys, at @chart_junkies. I post a lot of good charts and different content over there for you guys. Make sure you're following me over there. If you've been watching this channel, guys, we've been bearish all up in this area. We're ridiculed beyond belief, and they are all believers now. Believe me, they are all believers. Caught this nice move down off of the 125K top. I wanted to see this range hold. Tried playing longs down in here, and it just didn't want to give me that move, and we are cracking to the downside. I know a lot of you in my comments are looking for this kind of leading diagonal situation, and we're going to touch on this. We're going to touch on this towards the end of the video. Stick with me. I don't want to make this too long. But the most likely option here, in my opinion, is to make our way down just to this support area. And then we have a lot to play with a lot the market makers can build liquidity on, right? Now, this doesn't mean we shoot straight down. If I zoom in on this chart, actually, let me pull back. I wanted to see this kind of flat play out right here, and this kind of come up, and then WXY to the downside. I wanted to see that corrective structure, and with, you know, the recent events of us cracking to the downside so hard, and especially if we put in this 5-wave structure, I do see a correction. I still see a zigzag to the downside correcting our whole macro impulse. But it's just going to, in my opinion, it has potential to cut a little deeper than that 60K or that I originally intended. Guys, we can come all the way down to 35K, 40K. No problem. No problem. And you are lying to yourself. This must be your first cycle if you think that we can't come down there. Okay? I'm just going to say that plain and simple. Not trying to make fun of anybody here. We're all on our own journey. But you better believe 35 to 40K can get tapped before. Ultimately, I'm so bearish, guys, or so bullish on crypto and on markets. They're going to pump it. They're going to inflate the dollar to infinity. Markets are going to pump. It's just what's going to happen. But these things take time to develop. Let's zoom in on this possible impulsive wave to the downside. I have, you know, the way I'm counting it is we have our first 1-2 here. This is the Coinbase chart. This is the spot chart, guys. We don't have that gnarly wick here. And with that gnarly wick, I would still prefer this count over, definitely over the diagonal, which we're going to go over. Let me get rid of this. I have a first initial 1-2 put in, and I'm just looking to carry this on down, essentially put in a series of 4 5s down here. This will be a nice little range down here to trade, but I think the range will be overall trending to the downside, right? It'll be a push more than a range. And I really think this 80K level is it's looking good to me. 80 to 84K. And then we have potential. And it's likely that we get a very, very nice bounce here, guys. This will take a lot of time. This isn't going to happen overnight. It will take months to develop. Months to develop. And even if this diagonal plays out, guys, this correction on the diagonal, here, let me first quickly get over here. We're going to touch on this more in a second, guys. Stick with me. This will take months to develop. This isn't going to happen overnight either, guys. Okay? So for those trying to long this and catch a quick ride up, guys, I was trying to long this because of the potential for a flat here and actually getting a quick ride up. Those are trades that I want to be in. I don't want to sit here in a swing for 3 months looking to catch this. You know, I'll trade smaller pieces of this if that's the case and if that's the structure. But the potential for quick, impulsive moves to the upside is what I want to catch personally if I'm trading. That's just me. All right, so this is the overall structure I am favoring now. I understand there's going to be a lot of people saying, oh, well, now that we're all down here, now you're bearish. Are you sure? Guys, I've been bearish all up in here. I was bearish on this move. I was bearish on a range forming here. The only thing I was bullish on was more of a correction here. More of a correction here. And it was an intermediate bullish count. Was I wrong in that? You bet your ass I was. Am I going to be right all the time? Ain't no way. I'll be the first to admit I am not right all the time. But on the macro, I still see us coming down. I still see us pushing down. And I'm okay with pivoting and catching more moves down here. With how I see price action looking to play out, there are going to be plenty more trades down here. And this range right here is going to be a gold mine if we get this range. Okay? Let's zoom in on this possible impulsive structure to the downside. And where are our next opportunities going to lie? Well, over on X, I did post this chart. And I posted it before we even swept the lows to 94K. And, you know, said that I was looking to maybe catch a move up to 98 and then catch another wave to the downside. And it appears this is playing out quite nicely so far. We did sweep the lows. And I want to see a corrected move up to 98 play out. We could be putting in more of a flat type structure. This might cut pretty deep. This might totally fail and we just keep trudging to actually take this liquidity that I had mapped out for you here earlier. All this juice right here down at 91, 92, 90K. It can happen. So I want to see price push to the downside, guys. I really do. I want to see an impulsive wave finish. Again, the only thing that really concerns me with this specific structure is how oversold we are on things. But, you know, I've seen where RSI cuts to the downside, and once we take out this level and really cut to the lower downside, guys, it will be capped on how low RSI can go. But price action will just keep plunging to the downside. There will be a big bounce eventually. There will be. I just think it's going to come, you know, down in this range right here, rather than in no man's land where we are right now. I do see 98K being tested with a decent amount of probability before we continue this move to the downside. Guys, this could even push up as high as 101K. That leads me to my next point. If we are looking at this as a diagonal to bounce now, if we want any possibility of a bounce of a couple months of just consolidation up towards 120K again, somewhere up in here before we continue to the downside, if we want this to be a reality, well, a couple things need to happen. Number one, we got to regain this trend line on the bottom. That's the first thing, which 98K, if we bounce up there, we will be above this trend line again. All right. Number two, we need to at least come to terms with, hey, if this is diagonal, I mean, usually diagonals are corrective with each leg. And this first leg definitely looks impulsive to me, right? So it's just kind of strikes against this being a diagonal. We didn't touch the top of this trend line, didn't even tease the top of this trend line, didn't even come near it, didn't even overthrow it a little bit. No kind of sweep, no nothing on this upper trend line, but we did sweep the bottom trend line. It's just a strange appearance to me, guys. It really is. But this is the last real hope I see of any type of corrective move in this range. And again, we have cracked down so far that, you know, I think these little dead cat bounces are gonna toy with everyone. The next level it's gonna crack down to is 90K. Little dead cat bounce here, that'll toy with everyone. Then the next one, 86K. Everyone will say, okay, that's it, we're done. And then that's gonna be your wave 4 and then wave 5. I mean, these ranges are gonna get built, guys, when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I see this finished 5 waves, you know, I will be more bullish on a more macro correction on the intermediate term. Right here. I have this level marked 102K. Damn, I didn't want to make this video long, and here we are 13 minutes in. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I know it's the weekend. We want to go party and have a good time. 102K is the level that really is my line in the sand for further dumpage to the downside. Once we get above 102, I'll be more comfortable saying, hey, we might actually have this diagonal playing out. Why do I say that? Because if we go smaller time frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I want to see an impulsive push to the downside. And if we crack above these 1, 2s, 1, 2, 1, 2, that would invalidate impulsivity to the downside. You know, unless we were to get 4, 5, 4, 5, which would definitely cut way too deep for this diagonal anyways. If we switch to the upside here, this will look more corrective rather than impulsive. This 102K level pretty much. Once we hit that, hey, we might retrace and then continue. I'm not saying we hit that and fly. But in my mind, I'll be like, okay, Now let's really entertain this diagonal account with some more validity. But for right now, guys, I'm big bear boy, and I'm looking to hop on the train. All right. If you guys want to trade this stuff, Blowfin's the best non-KYC exchange. Got you a massive bonus as always. You get access to this and every single additional bonus I run with them as long as you sign up with the link pinned in the first comment down below or code chart junkies. I'll see you over in Discord. Make sure you join up. Check out my X account. Follow me on X. Trade safe. Love you guys. Peace.